Tips in the classroom I could give. There's a couple. If you get an assignment, do it early. It always pays. As hard as it is, and as much as you don't want to, and there's other stuff going on, you'll pay for it by the end of the semester when it gets to crunch time. So you got finals. Always remember you have finals. Start those papers, start those assignments as early as possible. That's the best advice that I could give to anyone. And pay attention in class. You know, even if it's boring, take the notes, even if you're not really into the topic then. Having those notes to go back to, it really pays off when you have to study and you have to write something.
When you're in high school, well, when I was in high school, I noticed that a lot of kids used to fall asleep in class. I don't recommend it for college at all. If you blink, you miss like a whole part of the class and then you're lost.
To keep yourself motivated in some of the classes that are boring is pretty easy. The first thing that I usually do if I really can't get settled into my seat, I'll get up, I'll go for a 2-minute walk around the hallway, maybe get a drink, something to snack on, and go back in. You don't want to skip class too much because when you miss about a half hour at a time and you try to sit back in, it's even worse than you really want to leave. Another thing that you could do to try to stay focused in class is really pay attention. Something that motivates me is I know that if I don't pay attention and I do really bad in the class, I'm going to be sitting there again next semester taking it over, which you really don't want to do, especially if you don't enjoy the class. So try to stay motivated because if you don't, you're going to be sitting back there again. I experienced a faculty member that did not like me and did not get along with me very well. What I tried to do was almost kill them with kindness. You want to be extra nice and don't give them any reason to have any other grudge against you. Unfortunately, my faculty member and I did not resolve the incident, but I did kill her with kindness and I did get a good grade in the class.
The thing that probably is most disconcerting to myself and I think most faculty in a classroom is students actually, checking their Blackberries, their emails, their talking with other students, and it's quite disruptive. They don't recognize, which I find interesting, they don't recognize that the faculty is standing up in front of a group of seated students. You can see what they are doing. And it's first of all very disruptive. It's foolish because it's insulting to the faculty member that they're standing up there, and students will actually say, for example, if they do miss something, did I miss anything important? The suggestion there is that you didn't because I was just up there babbling to myself, and sure, no, you didn't miss a thing. That is not something you should ask a faculty member. You should ask another student. But I would suggest a student, you should at this point be able to look like you're paying attention even if you're not paying attention.
Well, what drives me crazy in a classroom? Well, let me tell you, I've been teaching for 24 years. I've been teaching college for 24 years. And I've had all types of different courses, all types of different students, all types of different venues. And I try to run an open classroom. I try to teach my students that they're adults, so I'm going to treat you as adults. We're going to have an open classroom with an open discussion, and people are free to express their opinions. But even given that venue of a relaxed, less structured, open environment, there are a couple of things that consistently really set me off. The biggest thing that annoys me is that when students chatter in the back of the class and it begins to distract and annoy other students in the class, I find that I switch into a totally different head. I go from relaxed Dr. Mike, everybody gets along with me, I'm easy to deal with. I turn into Frankenstein. Because they're showing a total disregard for the possibility that some of the students are actually trying to pay attention to the class discussion. And they think it's okay to be talking about, their upcoming date on Saturday night. Who cares? So what I've had a tendency to do in those instances, and they happen occasionally, but they've happened over a period of 24 years, is I stop in mid-word. I walk to their location. I get right in their face, and I turn into a sort of a civilized version of Charles Manson, and I do something along the lines of, "I can't talk when you're talking! You're distracting my students!"
Mike, I understand you are a student government representative and a successful student. And I was wondering if there are some pointers that you could give to students as to how to be successful at their time at Molloy.
Sure. Well, I think one big important thing is to try to get involved at Molloy or at any college. I think once you get on campus and you get acquainted to everything, definitely try to get involved in something, whether it's a sport, maybe you played a sport in high school, or a club, something that you're interested in, or even student government, which I'm in, and it's definitely a lot of fun.
So follow your own interests is what
Follow
you're
your own interests. Basically, I think any interest that you have, you can find something in Molloy that'll match up with it or is similar to it. So,
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Hi, I'm Steve Ostendorf, the Director of Campus Life here at Molloy College, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about getting involved on campus. Students who get involved on campus tend to have a higher level of satisfaction for their college experience than students who just come to class and then go home. There are many ways students can get involved on campus, whether it's joining student government, getting involved with some of the other clubs and organizations on campus, whether they're writing for the newspaper, joining a cultural organization, or even getting involved with sports teams. Some students tend to need to make money, and there are plenty of work-study jobs, and those are other ways that students can get involved, whether it's with the admissions office, the student affairs office, or within their departments. So when you come to Molloy, a good idea, get involved, be active, and who knows, maybe you can even start your own club or organization. We always have room for more. Thanks.